everyone. I am doing a quick video for the February Inside My Studio for my patrons, and I would like to show you the window laying art studio when it's actually in use, as opposed to sometimes I clean it all up and take pictures and put on Facebook. But I want to kind of go through my studio for February and just kind of show you what's happening in here. And just so you know, things change frequently in this art studio. It's constantly changing just depending on what's going on. So every month will be a little bit different. I'll talk about a little bit different things. So right here, when you come in my studio over here, it's really a mess right now. I have stuff all over the place because I'm getting ready for different events, and so you'll see things on the floor that are just kind of stacked until I'm ready for them. I'm printing and I've just got a lot of stuff going on. This is my shrink wrapper machine here, and I use this to pull out the plastic and put my mounted prints or original artwork or whatever I need to shrink wrap. I use that machine up there to put them in, and then I have a heat gun just kind of laying haphazardly over there by my pastel sponge. It really is a mess in here right now. I'm usually very organized, but there's a lot going on, and I've just kind of been sticking things somewhere, everywhere. Up here I have my self-portrait that I did. It's waiting to be framed. I'm trying to frame 3 pieces a month, and I already have 3 pieces that are about to be delivered probably next week. So I'll wait till next month to frame it along with a couple of other pieces. This is my printer. It is my Epson Stylus Pro 3880. I just printed this giclée print of the white-faced owl that I created. Marcus Workman volunteered to let me use his original photo, and so I promised him a print, the number 1, signed and numbered with a certificate of authenticity. So I just got them printed, ready to package up and send to him, one of them to Germany. This is the paper that I use. It is Epson Hot Press Bright, and it is a fine art paper. And just so you know, that's why these gloves are here. You cannot handle this paper without using the gloves. It has to be kept in the dark all the time. It has a lot of protection, and when you do pull it out, you have 30 minutes to use it, and you have to use gloves to handle it. And then I will use the gloves to remove this print and to put it over on the drying rack, and about 24 hours from now, or 1 to 2 days, I will mount them, trim it and mount them into a package, and then shrink wrap them and prepare them for either selling or shipping. This is my projector. It is the Prism Artograph projector. I use it whenever I need to make the very light outline for pieces before I start to draw them, or make sure they're going to actually fit, the composition is going to fit on my paper. So that's what that's for. So I will use it sometimes. Sometimes I will use my light box, and right now I'm covering my light box up with this paper, the Epson paper, but it is by US Art Supply. It's a really large light box. You can see how big it is. I have my laminator back there for whenever I laminate any kind of instructions or reference photos or whatever I'm doing for workshops. I have a lot of art supplies throughout the room that are like scrapbooking and different art supplies that I used to use that I don't really use anymore, and just because art has kind of taken over my life, like the sewing up there. I will eventually get back to it. Maybe I'll take a vacation day and I'll just do nothing but other hobbies. My pan pastels are sort of taken over. You can see these are all pan pastels here, pan pastels on the bottom, pan pastels here. So I have a lot of pan pastels I use for both demonstrations, my own work, and for students. And I'll probably be organizing this very soon because we're getting our house ready to sell, to move to Austin, and so by May, so I'll have to clean up a lot of this, and I'm kind of doing that as I go. This big table is portable. I mean, it just rolls around. It has 4 big wheels, and it's very easy to pull out from the wall. This side has extra paper. The other side has some workshop materials and some workshops that I actually sell on my website, and so I pull it out whenever I sell something and package them all up and ship them. I also have my drying rack, speech problems tonight, drying rack here. And so as I print my giclée prints on the fine art paper, I lay them in here to dry, and they take a couple of days to dry, and then I mount them and and take them to wherever I'm going to sell them. This is really not supposed to be a catch-all. It's another drawer at the top of the rack, but I keep having things work in progress, and I just like throw it on here. But yeah, that'll be cleaned up very soon. I put this in the back so that the paper doesn't slide through whenever I put the prints in the drying rack. It does lift up like this, and you can pull them out, but I don't really need to because they're just lightweight prints. On the wall, I have hooks so that I can like hang my work in progress. Right now, they're not full, but usually they are, but I just sent stuff off with the printer. Jessica's, my drawing of my daughter Jessica, will get sent with mine next month. And then I have a work in progress here that's actually covered with glassine paper because I'm going to be working with charcoal tonight, but this is a demo piece that I'm going to do in Dallas, and so I've kind of got it to where I want it, and then I'm going to do the rest, some more of it at the demo. So I cover it with glassine when I'm working with charcoal so the charcoal doesn't rise into the air and land on the paper and ruin it. This is kind of like my supply table. It's usually a lot cleaner than this, but I have my charcoal all out because I'm going to be working with charcoal. So I have a lot of vine charcoal here. I have all my Polychromos extra color pencils there. I have a lot of my mixed media pencils in the back, a variety of pencils, and my charcoal supplies for what I'm working on tonight. Lots of storage under the table. And then I have the window area where I just kind of catch all right now, but eventually that'll all be cleaned out as well. You can see a tiny piece of the drawing that I'm about to do for the nude art. And you can just see a little piece of it for everyone who's a $12 patron or more. We'll get to see that completed picture, and we'll get to see the time-lapse video as well. You notice there's an OT light here. It is on rollers so that I can move it between tables, project tables, depending on what I'm doing. That table there is specifically usually only used for charcoal. I do have one young student who works with watercolors, and we will move my stuff off and use it for him. And then I have this green rolling cart, which I love very much. It actually has all my Polychromos pencils and a bunch of extras at the bottom, different pastel things that I use, my sharpener. I have these two nice corner tables or corner cabinets that I can keep a lot of other craft stuff in, extras, whatever I need. Lots of other mixed media type pencils and just things on top. My next art table, I use the light that I roll between the two tables when I'm going to work over here. This has the piece Traveling on it. I just finished. I'm still working on a few things for like saturation, but you can kind of see through it right now. I'm still working on a few little pieces of the picture, and I need to sign it. But I'm covered it with glassine to keep it protected from the charcoal that's going to be in the air from working on the charcoal project tonight. Over here I have a little rolling cart, and the rolling cart has a lot of the materials I need for when I'm working at these two workstations here. And then I have my middle cabinet here, and this is where I keep all of my student folders or student pictures and artwork. So when they come, they usually use this desk over here on the left. If I have something on it, I just clip it up on the wall, and then I get this, set it all up for my students. But their work is in those folders inside those drawers. And then I still have a few pieces that need to be framed that I haven't got around to framing or clipped on the wall there. This piece is a blank piece of paper right now. It is the next of a series that I am doing, and the same line that I'm doing for traveling. This one is going to be called Sylvie Grace, and I have a very light outline where I want to start with this, but pretty much it's a blank piece of paper, and it's next to my iPad on the little sliding thing here that slides across to get it closer, or you can slide it away. Walt made me this that my iPad just clips to, and I use my iPad to look at the reference photo when I draw. This little table here is movable around the room wherever I need it. I currently have all the pencils that I was using on traveling. I usually color code them. They're just not done yet, so I'll be color coding those before I start my next project. Of course, I've got to have my handy calendar organizing my life. I have my computers over here. I have one iMac and then a Mac Pro with a really large screen so that I can do video editing or whatever work that I need to do. I usually need two Macs to do accomplish everything I need. A variety of racks and some old crafts and stuff that I don't really work on. I have some glassine paper on a roll up there. If you have any questions about any of the things in the room that I failed to mention or to talk about, be sure and ask me and I'll try to answer those questions. But when I tell you that this room changes frequently, I mean it. It really does. Every single month there's something completely different. Actually, sometimes just week to week. My students will come to visit and they'll say, it looks so different in here. What did you do? I'm either rearranging desks or pulling stuff out from the wall and putting something there to store it for the next event, or there's just a constant change. And since we're going to be moving, I'll be staging this for selling the house to make it look good. We'll take this board off. This giant plywood was put up on my wall by my husband so I could do Sex and the City, which was a 6-foot by 4-foot piece. And I put glassine paper to protect my art paper from the plywood. And so it's still there. We haven't taken it down, but I'm not starting any large projects right now. So for now, I'm using it sort of to just clip up my work once it's finished and then taking it off to the framer. But there are more of these hooks behind that board. So I will have that all taken down and patch the holes on the wall and be ready to sell the house or stage the house for selling. And the pictures that I finish will have to clip on those clips. There's a little couple things on the wall that hold containers. It came in handy when I was working with this as my giant easel because I would put pencils and erasers and things inside those little cups. So anyway, if you have any other questions about anything, ask me and I'll answer the best I can. One more thing, the camera in the middle of the room. It's my camera boom and it sits here and I record everything that I do. So I've got my camera right at the top. And when I'm ready to work on another station over here, I just swivel my camera around, sometimes moving the base depending on if I need to, adjusting the camera so that it can record what I'm doing. And then the same way for the station over there, I just swing the camera around or possibly drag the base to a little bit closer wherever I need to. But by having the camera always connected in the middle of the room, it makes it very easy for me to just kind of move it around depending on which station I want to record on. And since I'm going to be doing the charcoal for the nude art group, I'm going to be working on that tonight and I'm using it over there. So trash can kind of gets shared, so it gets moved around from station to station and usually gets left in the center of my room like this. If you have any questions, ask away, and I will be sharing more videos like this. Every month I will share a inside my studio video for my patrons, and I hope you have some questions and hope you enjoy watching the ever-changing space that I work in. I'll also document and follow my new studio when I move, wherever I'm at, and you can keep updated on all the status of what's going on inside my studio. Thanks for watching.